Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have a lot of exciting sessions about supply chain and procurement, and automation engineering, and many, many more sessions. Make sure to download the VFast app on your mobile phone, which allows you to join our session easier, much easier, anywhere, wherever you are. Okay, with that, chill for a few minutes and watch our video for exciting reminders before we begin the session very shortly. So I'll see you later. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Making Nestlé Logistics Future Ready through Digital Technologies session. I'm Yves from Nestlé Malaysia, and I will be your host for this session. Okay, I believe many of you would have gone through a few sessions last 2 days, and you have heard the house rules many times. But allow me to just reiterate to ensure a smooth flowing session today. So do keep an eye on the chat box and make sure that you don't flood it with spam so you are able to catch important announcements and links on how you can engage with us via slido.com. Okay, do have your mobile phones on standby so you can scan the QR code on the top right corner of the slides to see career opportunities in technical, production, supply chain, procurement, and engineering across all the Nestlé markets around the globe. Right, great. Without further ado, let's begin the session. I will be introducing our inspiring keynote speaker for today, Yves Rosier, Global Head of Logistics at Nestlé. So Yves has been in Nestlé for more than 25 years, and he has worked in supply chain, operations, R&D, and business management across different continents and product categories. I'm so excited to hear from you, Yves, about how Nestlé Logistics has transformed itself to be a future ready in terms of resilience, agility, sustainability, and efficiency. So with that, Yves, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Young. Thank you for this great introduction, and good afternoon, good evening for all the participants. I see that there is full house there, and this is great for this topic, which is really amazing. So let's go to the first slide. Let's move to the first slide. Yes, what I just want to do before we dive into the heart of the topic, I just would like to give you a little bit of a sense of what Nestlé Logistics is all about. And as you can see, this is relatively big. We have 25,000 people working in 150 countries. We have 400 factories, factory warehouses. We have 600 distribution centers. And every day we have more or less 16,000 trucks on the road. So this is quite big. This gives you a little bit of the size of what we do at Nestlé in logistics. Let's move to the next slide now. And at Nestlé, really what we try to do, we want to delight our customers and our consumers and really be consumer-centric. In logistics, our role is really to enable the moment of truth. What is the moment of truth? This is the point in time where you as a consumer, you select our product on shelf, in the store or online on the virtual shelves. And our role in logistics is to make sure that those products are available to you at a good price for money, and that we are delivering to you in a sustainable way. Let's move to the next slide. So now the one thing which is very, I would probably very obvious for all of us is that, the world around us is evolving very fast. We see step changes in the shopping habit of our consumers. They are shifting from, the motor stores to e-commerce. We are seeing very quick evolution in technologies, which are really enabling, I would say, new capabilities and also, driving our costs down. We see also, a lot of disruption in our value chain. Think about the Suez blockage, the Suez Channel blockage. Think about labor shortages that we see in the drivers of the truck, in the forklift operators. So all those elements really are requiring that we rethink our logistics network and really that we build more resilient logistics network through technology. Next slide, please. Now, to support our business priorities, and you see our business priorities, this is resiliency, agility, low cost, sustainability, and safety. And in order to support those business priorities in this world, which is changing so rapidly, we have selected a number of areas where we are really deploying digital technologies. There are 4 areas there that we will discuss today, but which are our priorities. This is the transportation control towers. This is warehouse automation. This is digital business processes. This is logistics network optimization. So this is really the 4 areas that we are selected and on which we are working. And all those areas, they are all the solutions that we are building and deploying in those areas, they are supported by foundational technologies. And those technologies include automation, artificial intelligence, collaborative platform, digital twins, or the modeling of our networks, paper-based apps, IoT, sensors, connectivity, advanced analytics. So this is really those foundational technologies that we are using here to build those solutions. Moving to the next slide now, I'll give you a few examples of what we are doing. So let's start with the first area, which is the network modeling and optimization. So there, what we are doing in this area, we are deploying at scale solutions where we are building digital twins of our distribution network, and we use AI-based techniques to optimize them. You can see on that map of China, where this is for one division of Nestlé China, where basically we have been able, with using those technologies, to really simplify the way the network is run. And it's not just a cost reduction exercise, but this is also from a sustainability standpoint. Obviously, we are driving much less kilometers or miles. And so therefore, this is good for the business from that standpoint, but this is also good for the planet. Let's move to the next slide, where I will show you a second example, which is about transportation this time. And there we are transforming our operations with digital technologies to enable visibility across road and ocean freight. The capabilities that we have built there, this is the ability to manage disruptions, the ability to track and trace our containers and our truck, globally, and also technologies which are using AI, where we can really predict, I would say, the arrival of a container on a truck based on different parameters. We will now show you a video where we are illustrating, the type of solution that we have built and deployed globally.
Where is my product and when is it likely to arrive? Since 2020, pressures have been building in the ocean freight global supply chain. COVID lockdowns in crucial manufacturing hubs in China were one trigger. Worsting the situation, the supersized container ship Ever Given got lodged sideways in the Suez Canal. By March 2021, Nestlé importing markets were challenged in securing product supply. In 8 weeks up to June 2021, P44 was deployed to all markets globally, providing key data points which link containers, Nestlé orders, and predicted dates at the port of discharge. Supply planners are particularly interested to understand how the date at the port of discharge might impact the final delivery date at the Nestlé facility. In conjunction with the DSB function, an extended dashboard has now been created to connect the container visibility data with the related purchase order's planned delivery date. This merging of data provides more meaningful insight to the supply planning community and is a step toward connected supply chain analytics. What are my container penalty costs and can I proactively avoid these? Demurrage and detention are significant penalty costs incurred when we hold the container for longer than we have contractually agreed. In many cases, this occurs when we don't know that the container is sitting at the port. With the deployment of P44, markets quickly had a basic view of when containers were sitting in the port or when empty containers had not been returned to carriers. To make the insight more meaningful and quantify the exposure, the P44 data was then combined with carrier contractual information on free time and penalty costs, in the Cargo platform. This allows us to provide absolute liability costs to the responsible logistics teams and projected liability if the situation is not remediated. Cargo is also used to manage the shipment documentation. Missing documentation is a key reason for incurring demurrage and detention costs. This data point is also merged into the dashboard, which in turn now provides an addressable reason why the container may be sitting in port. These analytics are another example of connecting supply chain data points to provide business teams with enough information to address the business opportunity.
So let's move now to the second example or priority area that I wanted to show you. This is our T-Hub program. We call it T-Hub program, but in fact, what we're talking about here, this is the deployment of a transportation control tower at scale. And we are really working hard on our processes, on our technology, and our organization to make sure that we can, transform this area. A few capabilities that we have built as part of that program. This is the vehicle load optimization and route optimization to drive efficiency, obviously, but also sustainability from that standpoint. This is the building connectivity, real-time connectivity with our transporter through cloud-based portal to minimize, all the administrative paper type-based interaction, and also I would say sophisticated freight buying technique using AI. So by the end of 2023, in a few years, less than 1 year now, 80% of our transportation will be covered with this solution, this program, the T-Hub program. Let's move to the next area, which is now warehousing. Here also in warehousing, we are leveraging automations in order to address specific business issues and opportunities. And the typical issues that we are, driving, except, on top of productivity, obviously, this is to be more agile in terms of meeting customer needs through mixed pallet, pick, everything which is related to pick and pack operations for e-commerce. And also, as you probably also know, the labor shortages, we are in a number of countries lacking of forklift operators. And so therefore automation is helping us to mitigate this lack of people. We will show you now another video of this type of technology, which is deployed in a number of our sites. So enjoy the video. One more point that I want to add on this area of automation, as you have seen in the video, we also pay, I would say, a very serious, attention to safety, because in our world, one accident is one too many. And so therefore the safety of our people are coming, as our first priority before productivity, very clearly. So moving to another area or other areas in the warehousing world, we are also they're digitalizing our ways of working, our business processes, with a concept that we call connected warehouse. This is a big program that we have there, and in these areas we are deploying a number of applications, like a lot of paperless applications to simplify the operations and to accelerate communication between our people there. We are also delivering apps which are easily customizable for our shop floor workers, and also solutions which are providing visibility for better planning and response for the people managing our site. So just would like to show you a short video there where you will see all those solutions and apps working together, the way they are integrated, and more importantly, how they create a holistic ecosystem for our employees to work in a more effective and agile way.
During the last 2 years, we have accelerated connected logistics by developing apps and tools to improve resilience, on-time delivery, customization, and our response time to customers was focused to reduce total delivery cost. Ongoing programs like T-Hubs and Ocean Insights have transformed the warehouse from a standalone black box to a connected warehouse, capable of predicting, planning, and providing information continuity across the value chain. Information from T-Hub and Ocean Insights feed into various tools and apps. Labor planning helps to plan number of equipment and people and gives quantifiable and direct impact on productivity improvement and on-time order execution. Yard management system covers parking and truck movement area. This artificial intelligence-enabled app helps to schedule dog bookings, preventing trucks from roaming around the parking yard, which can be a safety risk. Yard management system is a modular solution, built to be deployed on software as a service format. Once truck is directed to a particular dock, paperless app kicks in and take away all papers from the warehouse. Visual inspection, safety, quality checks can now be hosted on this Power App solution, making a warehouse paper-free. This interface is customizable and free of charge. Goods are offloaded and moved to the warehouse based on ABC classification that optimize travel time of people and equipment by indicating product placement using advanced analytics. It brings a solid productivity gain and improves warehouse density. For automated warehouses, we have integration layer. It helps the automation vendors to connect their equipment and software using standard plugin. Thanks to digital twin simulation, warehouse automation is now faster and cheaper. Overall cost of software implementation went down by up to 45%. These apps and tools also feed the digital warehouse apps that support decision-making. In addition to being connected to cloud database, digital apps remove backend outages factor from critical warehouse operations, giving the end user seamless output. The product pipeline for connected warehouse is modular, and next generation of digital solutions are coming based on business pool and business case. Connected logistics is an agile response to accelerate safety, sustainability, customer centricity, and TDC reduction, and a step towards converting our warehouses to fulfillment centers. Powered by people, enabled by technology.
And now, as you also saw in that video, it's very critical to work on our pipeline of solution. This is really critical to stay ahead of the game and make sure that we leverage technology and the progress of technology. So in that space, we are also active, and we are testing different type of new opportunities that we can find through technology. So just 3 examples there of things that we are testing. This is proof of concept, test pilots, you can call it the way you want. So this is using vision and AI to be able to measure the level of utilization of a truck or containers, for instance. Another example is about loading and unloading of trucks or containers, also with automated guided vehicles, as you can see on the second picture. And one area that we're also testing, this is to have self-driving movers, as you can see on this picture, within the warehouses of our yards to move around the drop trailers that we have in the yard and make sure that we can dock them safely within the yard. Let's move to the next topic, which is about Yeah, about sustainability. I think that the deployment of technology there is also critical to help us to achieve our CO2 reduction commitment, which is to be carbon neutral by 2050 now, but with a very clear milestone by 2025 and 2030. And there, the use of technology is also critical, as I said. So, and there are three pillars on which we are, building our action plan there. The first one, this is to improve the operational efficiency of our operations. And I gave you, two examples in the previous, slide. One is about this network redesign. Of course, if you redesign and optimize your network, you will drive less kilometers, and so therefore your CO2 impact will also be, significantly reduced. If then you use our T-Hub program and you optimize the way you load your trucks or your containers, same story, you will need less trucks on the road, and so therefore your CO2 impact will also be greatly improved. But this is not sufficient, and going forward there are more things that we need to do, and this is our second pillar, which is really shifting from different transportation mode, and most of the time from truck to rail, where we have the infrastructures in the country in which we operate. As you can imagine, the first pillar is very much driven by our own ability, is driven internally by ourselves. We can do it ourselves, by just optimizing our operation. The second pillar, very, very clearly, we would need also to rely on infrastructure which are existing or not, and so therefore our ability to deploy that shift from one transport mode to the other is in some countries is slower than what we would like. But this is something that we need also to work with the authorities and with the industry in general to make sure that we accelerate those things as much as we can. And the third one, we are more dependent on basically the development of technologies, and here we are talking about using alternative fuel and vehicles like electric vehicles, and you have a few examples of things which are already done, but this is not done at completely at scale there, especially if I think about hydrogen truck. This is something that there is a few trucks that we can run there, but this is really an area that we will have to continue to develop as technology is becoming, I would say, not only available, but from an R&D standpoint, but available, I would say, through the industry. Let's move now to the last slide. And this is really now in order to continue to build and to deploy our technology-based solution. You can imagine that we need talented and motivated people. We will work with us on different projects, and by working on those projects of deployment, building and deployment of technologies, those people will really help us to deliver big impact on our performance. As I said, not just cost, but also agility, also sustainability, safety. They will work on international projects. In nature, we are working in different sites, in different areas to make sure that we deliver on those projects, and most importantly, those people will deliver I would say significant skills in those leading technologies. And then to conclude, I just would like to say again that at Nestlé Logistics is about being enabled by technologies, but certainly powered by people, and that the second is a very important part of that. Enabled by technologies and powered by people. Thank you for your attention, and ready for your questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Yves, for delivering such a good video, and you can see how Nestlé has improved our logistics sustainability by keeping up, with the technology advancement, using AI, using automation in the factory, in the warehouse, to make sure that we leverage on this technology to ensure supply across the world, right, around the world. So, and also to meet consumer expectation as well. Okay, so I'm sure such videos or even message from you has kind of triggered a lot of questions from our participants. So let me just share with you the questions. The first question that came by was, how was logistics in Nestlé evolved after COVID-19?
Yeah, after COVID-19, I should say during COVID-19, because what we had to, as a company, not just logistics, but I would say all the functions of Nestlé, we had to adjust our ways of working. And adjust means not only, I would say, to be able to work differently, because we had to work remotely, across our different sites. So this is one of the first thing that we had to do. But at the same time, we had also to create, I would say, to create a number of those tools that we have discussed. You have seen this tool on container tracking, with the shortage of containers, which has been also a result to some degree of the crisis that we had with the COVID-19. And so therefore, this has been a great, from that standpoint, this has been an opportunity for us to realize that we needed to be, I would say, more, to continue to do everything that we were doing, but more importantly, to be more agile and more resilient. And, this is the type of thing that we have really worked on over the last, 2 to 3 years now. How can we be more agile and more resilient in the way we conduct our logistics?
Great. Thank you so much, Yves. We have a couple of questions, so I will just read it out. Yeah. So we have this question. What are your thoughts about the future of connected logistics and warehouse automation with the metaverse?
So I think that the metaverse will also help us, I would say, to better train our people. I think that this is something that we will be able to do. I'm not talking there about, there are obviously, the metaverse has a number of important commercial implication, how you engage with your customers and how you manage, your brands and, the assets which are related to your brands in that space. But from a logistics standpoint, this type of technology will also help us to better connect and to better train our people, through the use of those technologies. Yes.
Great. Okay. We have another one. What are the different approaches to logistics between developing countries as well as developed countries? Yeah.
Yes, and I think that, you see, for instance, let me use the two examples that we have shown, or we have three examples that we have shown, which are equally relevant for developed or developing countries. If you think about the network optimization, you can optimize your network in any country. And you have seen, we have given here an example of China, but we are using the same technology in the US, in Europe, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Australia. So these type of technologies are applied everywhere, because if you have, you have your customers, you have your factories, you have your distribution center. And so therefore, what is the best way basically to distribute your product within a geography or across geographies? So this is a typical example. The T-Hub program, maybe you have noted on the map, in fact, that technology is developed in all countries in Asia. So, and the same tool is developed in the US and in Europe. So, those technologies are developed, are deployed everywhere. One thing that's, and this is the same for the digital apps and for this type of thing. The only one technology where maybe there is a little bit of a difference, this is automation. And this is obviously related to the cost of labor in the different countries. I think, however, that in Asia, with probably also the people getting older, and we will also face this issue of shortage of labor, and really automation will become a big driver there, also to make sure that we can continue to have resilient operations. So, I think that they are applicable everywhere, frankly.
Yeah, even in Malaysia, we have our own warehouse, which is also very automated. Yeah, I've visited, and it's a really great site visit for me. Okay, so we have a question on, what do you think about alternating human power with self-driven trucks, sharing in a perspective of unemployment in the markets, with, it can be positive or negative impact from your field's perspective?
Yeah, I think that self-driving trucks, I think that this is still something that we will have to wait a little bit to see them on the road in a I would say, I would say, very specifically contained environments, because you have a lot of safety issues. So this is something which needs still to be managed properly. What the application that we see, I would say, in the short term, and you have seen in our pipeline, this is to see how we can in the yard of our warehouses, where this is a very controlled environment, we can really make sure that there is no pedestrian running around there. So there, in those environments, we are testing those technologies. I think that we see a good potential for those. But as I said, safety remains first for us, and we will not compromise on that. And so this is why we are doing extensive tests with different partners there to make sure that really we can ensure safety of our people.
Yeah, safety. We will never compromise safety for a self-driven truck. We will rather leverage on people, right? Our people who even build their skills to be able to drive a truck. I think that's.
But you have seen also in the video that we have done on automation, you have seen we have spent a lot of time there, to make sure that we can detect people, that we can detect movement, that we can, because this is something which is critical. If you have a big warehouse, you can never exclude that you have somebody walking around. So you need to make sure, or another piece of equipment, autonomous piece of equipment which is running around. So we need really to make sure that those things are totally safe.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we have a question on what are the skills that we need for a career in logistics at Nestlé?
So I think that there are different ways to start, but certainly you need a good background. You need analytical skills. You need to be to understand well technologies, and you need to be curious and to be motivated to drive change. I think that this is some of the skills which comes to mind, and the rest you will learn on the job, because the way we do things is that 70% of our training is done on the job usually, and I think that this is a great opportunity also for people who are at the earlier stage of their career, so they can join, they will learn, and they will become great asset for the company.
Yeah, that's great. In fact, maybe I'll switch that a little bit. How about for someone without any background of logistics, or even in their past education, they are not from supply chain management background or any related logistics background? How do you perceive this? Do you think that they are able to, if this is their interest or passion, do you think that they are able to be in the logistic or supply chain, or any functions? And what would be your advice?
Yeah, if you are at the beginning of a career and you are looking to perform a career in supply chain or in logistics, I can speak about myself. By training, I've not done my studies in engineering or in logistics. My background is in science, but at some point in time I decided to switch, and this is what I've done. So the door is open. No problem.
Amazing. You should share more about it, Yves. Maybe I'm sure the crowds here who join us today, not everyone is from a supply chain or logistic background.
No, and logistics.
How does the transition? How does the transition came by?
Yes, that transition. In fact, for me, as I said, my education, I'm a physicist, so I've studied physics, and then at some point in time, I decided to join the industry. And I was also working in computer science, and this is the way I entered into Nestlé, and then moved to supply chain, and then I did my career in supply chain at Nestlé. So you see, I was at the beginning, I was really far from what I'm doing today. In fact, I've never worked in the profession that I've learned in at university.
Oh, amazing! That must be passion. And how we sustain, right? That attracts you to be a part of it.
And I think that what it is important, this is this notion of curiosity and motivation, and how can you improve the things that you're doing every day. So I think that this is a great something that a great mindset that our people should have.
Great. Okay, maybe I think that's we are almost close to the time. So before we end the session, maybe if you can give a few advices to the people here who probably wants to join Nestlé or who are in Nestlé, who are keen to explore logistics or supply chain, maybe you can give maybe 2 or 3 advices to them, or even, yeah, how they can join Nestlé, for example, and what they can expect. Yeah.
Yes, I think that we will have in logistics, because our Nestlé is continues to grow and to have more businesses, and so therefore we will need people. We will need people in logistics. This is for sure. We see that we have in fact, I can say we have a little bit of a shortage of talented people in that space. Just because of the growth that we have. 3-4 years ago, we had almost no automation. 3-4 years ago, this tier program didn't exist. The same for connected warehouses. So we need good people to help us there to drive those things. And so there will be in the coming years, I'm sure that there will be many opportunities for people who really want to join this area. So I think that there will be openings, I guess, and feel free to join.
Yes.
And I think that there will be a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yves, for your very, very great session. We really appreciate all the time that you have given to us here, and also sharing the plans in Nestlé, right, for logistics and perspective, as well as warehouse, with true technology. It's really, really important, I guess, especially for the next, our future ready workforce that's also coming, right? So thank you so much. And I just want to give a big shout out to those people who are here today as well for attending this session. And we really hope that you enjoy what Yves has shared with you, especially he's the industry expert, so feeling inspired by his sharing as well. Yeah, so today is the last day of Nest Level, so we just hope that you can drop us a note if tell us how do you like this session or how you enjoy, and also send some love to our speaker here, Yves. I'm sure he's going to be excited seeing the messages from you. Okay, so we will about to end. So don't forget to catch our next session by Berta Ramosec and also Crystal, as they talk about leading women in global procurement. Okay, the Nestlé agenda. So if you surely don't want to miss this session. So make sure you go to the chat box and click on the link. It will bring you directly to that session. Okay, or if you want to just have a look again on the agenda, please feel free to. But if you and you can just even access the session through the agenda page, right? And if any point of time you might have missed a session because you are busy or you are occupied, yeah, so don't be panicked, because we will have all the recordings up really soon for your own personal recapping. And yeah, like I mentioned, this is actually our last session, so feel free to share your thoughts and even share it in LinkedIn. We are more than happy to receive it as well. So please remember to use the hashtag NestLevel2022. So thank you so much, Yves, again for your good sharing today. We hope you have a pleasant day. We hope to have everyone have a good day as well. So we will see you in the next session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to all, and remember, enabled by technology, but powered by people.
By people. Yay. See you.
See you.
Bye. Thank you.